that up. These are so cool because they got decals. You can put your name on it,
Shall we
personalize it.
start?
Hey, you go ahead and
Shall we
eat your
start?
pizza, man. Whatever you want to. It's
Well,
full a
yeah, I'm
little
eating
warm, I
pizza,
guess.
but shall we start?
Nobody cares.
Uh, I got nothing.
Meow. Shadow.
Hey,
What's
Hey
happening?
guys,
what's going on, Rex? How you doing, buddy?
you don't know how close this came to not being. My broadband was out for almost 24 hours. 30 minutes ago,
Oh,
it
shit.
self-corrected itself.
Oh, no shit. Wow.
Yeah, like 30 minutes ago, it finally, went green instead of red.
Well, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's
like
like,
that.
But I've been running around doing things, getting, checking for meals for her. Got my check cashed and got busy about midday, about 1 o'clock, and thought,
Right.
well, I'm going to do a little bit of running around, then I'll come back and see if I can get this broadband going. And went to the restroom and it corrected itself. So, you know, we're here on a Monday. We were working on the campaign last night. Hey, Gary in the house.
Hey, Gary.
Hey, Carrie.
What's Rob Ewing's Insta name? I think just under Rob Ewing, isn't
That's
it?
just under
Shadowhawk?
Rob Ewing, Gary. Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe so.
I do want to share Carrie's uh, hmm, Lady Hopper fan art.
Oh, yeah, I saw that just before I came
Check
in.
that out.
That's
Yeah, what do you think?
nice.
It looks
I
like on a
like
pizza
it.
round, huh?
Yep, sure
Nice.
does.
If she'll let me, we'll print it in the book.
Yeah, I think that's why she made it for you.
In one of the books. I do
Yeah,
plan
it
took
on
it out
having
nice.
some
Didn't you?
fan art in there. Yeah.
That's right. She gave it to you.
Was that on
So I guess
Pizza Round,
From what Carrie said,
Gary?
yeah, it was
She gave it to me? What? Oh, it's painted on a pizza round. Okay. Acrylic painting. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I think that's cool
yeah,
that it's on a pizza round. I like
yeah.
your shirt, LZ. Fantastic Four. Hell yeah.
yeah, man.
Got
I like
George
Oh,
them, man.
Perez,
I think they're cool, man.
little round.
Uh,
He's not going to
Yes,
stand up and show us, folks. It's just give him an
you know, it's got
opportunity
the
to shine, and
heads.
he doesn't take it.
It's got the
Yeah.
heads.
You-
There's your
Yeah, the
lizard
heads are done by
representation.
George Perez. Now, I believe that issue cover is probably. Now, I could be wrong, but I'm thinking it might be Rich
hey,
Buckner,
Elmer.
maybe Omer
Does, doesn't it,
Cliff's in the
Omer?
house.
She
As
did
we
an
were, as I was
excellent
saying,
job.
we were working on the campaign last night, making some changes, and my broadband went out. He took a
Oh,
break,
shit.
and during break, the broadband went out. It was out till about 30 minutes ago. So AT&T coming through this time. You know, last time when the broadband went out, Shadowhawk, the signal was going all the way to the house. I called a guy on a Saturday or Sunday to show up, you know. I mean, made an appointment for the next day, and it fell on the weekend. It seems like it might have been on a Sunday. And anyway, he just replaced the broadband cable leading from the wall to the tower, and that was it.
Oh, wow.
I had signal all the way up to the house, and that's all we had to do was replace the cable. I don't know why it went bad or what.
I don't know. Could just
Oh,
be
it is
wear and tear.
Janet from another planet. If you didn't catch
Hello,
her
Janet.
Father's, well, not Father's Day, Friday 13th shit show, and she might have did something for Father's Day. I can't remember. It's too many days passed. I hope everybody had a good Father's Day. Shadow, did you get anything from your little lovelies? And Elsie, did you get anything from your lovelies?
Uh,
Oh yeah, I got a little something.
nope, I didn't get nothing.
You didn't get no card, bro?
My daughter made me a card.
Well, you
There you
got
go.
something.
I don't
It's worth
expect
more
I don't
money,
expect nothing
bro.
from the kids. They
Well,
don't have no money.
We love Janet from another planet here. She gets a
But
lot
you
of
know, it
shit,
don't cost much to
especially on the
make a
shit show.
card. Card's worth
What'd
more
you get, Elsie?
I got a card. I got some milk duds. Got some see what else I got? I got some cinnamon Altoids.
Oh, yeah, those things can be hot.
Yeah,
I
those
like
babies are powerful.
I like
Yeah, concentrated.
something else I'm trying to figure out.
Was you spoiled, Shadowhawk? I guess that's what that says. Spoiled.
I was spoiled with dinner and stuff. We just had a nice dinner. I had to work early this morning, so I went to bed early. You know.
Well, I got the
I don't
best thing from my daughter I could get, and that was acknowledgement of Father's Day, which I have not
Yeah,
got
there you
since she
go.
was 8 years old. But she wished me a happy Father's Day. That's something.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I wondered if she would this year. I just, you know, I wish her happy early birthday and her birthday was Friday the 13th. So it falls really close to Father's Day every year. We do have
Yeah.
confirmation of Edwin. Hey, Edwin, Buzz Acevedo. He will be with us on the show on August 4th.
Alrighty.
I assume that's right, Edwin.
Hey,
I mean,
Edwin.
right? I mean, you do the 4 o'clock shadow, right? At 4 Central. I'll pencil you in. We really didn't talk about a time, but he's launching the Drawing Aces anthology on July 31st.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. And LZ so graciously helped me out. Seeing Dillard. Why is he got Dillard Charles money for 2 pages for the book? So Dillard will maybe you know, he might pop in tonight. Who knows? I did send him the link, but he'll probably like, what's this all this money you're giving me? Wants you to get back to working on Devil Flyer. So he'll be, I paid him for 2 pages for the book. And hopefully in a week I can pay him for 2 more pages and we can start filling this thing out and getting it done, you know. Have you been painting, LZ? He's been painting all day long, have you not? Pretty
I
much.
have since about, I got up around 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Shadowhawk, are your kids out for school yet? Are they on summer vacation?
Yeah, my kids are.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I know Elsie said earlier that his was, and
Yeah, my daughter's. I think this is her second week. Well, so she's. I think last Monday was her first day off for the summer.
That's awesome, Carrie.
I drove through
That's-
MacArthur
that-
School, which is not too far from my place, and there was no buses and all that mayhem that happens.
That's
Yeah, she's
beautiful.
following in your
That's awesome.
footsteps. She's gifting
Hey
paintings
man,
and stuff.
take your talent and use it for the kingdom.
Is that a me
man.
problem or
That's
you
nice.
guys' problem?
I ain't got no problem. Yeah, you gonna
Yeah,
be
definitely,
buzzing,
Carrie. We're
girl.
gonna
You'll
definitely
be buzzing.
will. I have created my signature
Wow.
in case I'm ever asking.
do you create a signature or do you just sign your name? I don't understand. Is
Well,
it
I
something
mean-
people like to do a little symbols and
Well,
like
that's
you
me.
did, Rex?
Yeah, a lot of artists out develop, some kind of something for their
Well, it's like
signature.
the Frank Frazetta, portfolio. He did have initial. He just initialed a lot of them, but he actually signed his out. But it wasn't his regular signature. It was a fancy art signature. Man, it was really a trip.
Well, Joe
Yeah,
Kubert
pretty
had
cool.
different signatures over the decades, and look at Walt Simonson. He's always put that big looping O, even all the
Yeah.
way back
But
to the mid 70s.
But he stays consistent, man.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And no matter what, I know that's Walt Simonson right there.
yeah. My regular signature is just cursive or whatever. But when I do,
Yeah.
or when I was doing artwork a lot more, I got an artwork signature.
Huh. I just wrote
Perry, do
LZ
you put
there.
on worship music as you paint? LZ, do you ever put on worship music when you paint?
Well, put on some Jelly Roll or, maybe a little Charlie Daniels or
Oh,
what-
Jelly
what-
Roll. I
yeah.
thought he was talking about donuts.
Yeah, they're good. They're good too. But it's like
I've
I
never
said,
heard
I
of
don't-
Jelly Roll.
I
Is
don't-
that? I know that's not rap
You've
music.
never heard. Oh my gosh.
I'm glad I've never heard of it.
Really?
It doesn't sound like my liking. What type of
That's
music
what I
is
thought.
it? Country?
That's what I thought till I heard it, bro.
Jelly Roll, I think that's old school blues, ain't it?
A little
Oh.
bit of it all, man. He gets a little bit of everything.
Okay, that wasn't an answer, but sure.
Well, I don't know what to put of a label. I don't know what label to put on it. Except I know
Classify
it's got
him
a lot
as,
of
yeah.
Christians, a lot of Christian
Is he a Christian?
theology thinking. He is
Yeah.
now.
Oh,
Oh.
Was like we were thugs,
I was never a thug. What the
Well,
hell?
whatever.
Yeah, you didn't have no
ran.
fun.
You didn't want to be no thug. You ran away. I just sitting there going, what the heck? Hey,
What? I'm lost.
Rick's good. We do get lost.
More often than I'd like to admit. Country music artist or recently did a worship song with Brandon Lake. Oh, okay. So Carrie knows
Yeah.
more about Jelly Roll than I do. I was thinking he was one of the old blues guys.
He's pretty talented. You know.
Mm.
Well,
And
I
like I
do
said,
listen
I
to.
don't want to sit there and listen to the whole album. I like 2 or 3 songs, maybe 4. And then I like to pop over and listen to some of Charlie Daniels' Still Witness album. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, he was a convict. He was a thug, man. He's probably like, Ku Klux Klan. That was about the way he thought, hiding all his pain, everything deep down, and just, you got to let it out sometimes, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to.
I'd explode.
Mm, blew him up
Oh,
real good.
I'm getting fucking crazy now. I got 3 days left.
Spontaneous combustion. Boing.
Wait, you got 3 days? Wait a minute. Today's
Yeah,
only Monday. Explain
I know.
yourself.
I'm off on Friday because I finally get to go in and see my doctor about my fucked up knee.
Well, praise the
Oh,
Lord, brother.
okay.
I just hope
So I can make
they
it,
can
man.
tell
Fuck.
you, hey man, we all, if you're a Christian, we got a testimony, and that's what God says to use. Okay,
You got
so
a
that's,
friend in Jesus.
I know I got a friend, that's for sure.
Amongst other things.
Hey man, you want
Yeah,
to see
I'd
something
be
really
happy with just some
cool?
cortisone shots or something,
You
or
want to
just
see
anything to
something
just relieve
really
the
cool?
pain for a while.
Yeah, my mother had those, like once a month or once every month and a
Hmm.
half. They do help for a
You
little while.
want to see
Oh yeah,
something really
you
cool?
can use them for a while. So,
I have
but
not
shit,
checked on my mother. I'm a bad son. Uh, she bumped her ankle. It didn't look too bad when I was there. I'll check on it tomorrow. But it's going to be a
oh
scorcher tomorrow, about 90 degrees high, which is not too bad compared to like Texas. What is this?
shit, it was 94
Really
here
need
Well,
today.
help for?
I did a stained glass of Jesus, and I was trying to figure out what to do. Where just hang it, but then I've got this plate of Jerusalem, man,
Oh, there you
which is
go.
really
Just
which
overlap
is
it.
really
Yeah.
which is really cool.
Oh, very neat. Yeah.
And so I just kind of wrapped this wire and let it hung off the plate.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it gives them a nice halo effect.
And he's not by
Yeah, it
himself.
does, doesn't it? Like an icon.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that Jerusalem plate was pretty cool.
Did you get it? You know where you remember where you got that
I
from?
got it in an estate sale for like $3.
Mm-hmm.
I
Oh
said, well,
well.
what am I going to do with that? I said, well, I usually create art out of everything I can. Well, why not? Make the world a more better, beautiful place. It's stained art. It's a little dusty. It's been sitting around for a while, but it's clear through. Yeah, you see that?
Yeah.
You can kind of see it.
Yeah, Carrie
It's
wanted to
been
know if it when the sunlight hits it, if it
Yeah,
shows
look
the
at it.
image like on the
Look at
wall.
his eyes.
a
Oh
little
yeah,
bit, yeah.
that's cool. Hmm.
Well, I can take it away, and then you can see nothing.
Apex
Yeah.
Comics in the house. Hello, Apex.
Hey Apex, what's up, buddy? He was on stream with fucking Katie there earlier for a long
Oh
time.
no! Just at least I didn't
Yeah,
drop this
hers
thing.
ended
You
right.
didn't break it, did you?
He will.
Jerusalem's in one piece, my friend, and
All right,
probably will
that's good.
stay in one piece after this is over. But I won't say no more.
Well, right now, you know, I They're kicking
It's
some
not
ass over
good.
there. And
Look, there's no good thing about war because that just kills people, man.
Well,
mm,
you
Innocent
know,
people.
Israel struck one of the refineries of Iran, and they could have wiped them all out. I think there was about 5 more or something. That's really
yep.
affecting their economy. You know, if you destroy the refineries, they
Well, I
just were
thought,
showing. You know, that's what amazes me, Shadow, is that they're always showing restraint with their
yeah.
actions.
Well, they got attacked by Iran again. Started launching some missiles at them,
Yeah, big
and
time. Yeah,
they've left Iran alone for a while because of the whole thing going on with the Palestinians.
yeah.
But so they fucked around and found out, man. And Israel had been planning for a while. The next time they get out of line, we're going to go take out all of their nuclear capacity because the Americans aren't going to do it, and those guys are going to get
Yeah,
the
I
capacity to
know the
go
song.
nuclear. So they went in on that strike, and they
Absolutely
took out
nothing.
all of their top nuclear scientists, all their developmental labs, all that shit. They took all that shit out.
I think they've only got like
That's
one
that's
enrichment place left or something. But
they were talking about the precision, the difference between the war. Okay, if you listen to the differences, very big difference. War is war. War is all the way. It's been back since time. But okay, you don't just indiscriminately shoot missiles into the country and don't care where they hit, as long as you hit them.
right,
Then you go over and you pinpoint and you fly your jets in there, and they can't do nothing. And you
Nope.
hit the pinpoint areas to not kill as little civilians as possible. If you notice, they didn't bomb apartment complexes and hospitals and you know what I'm saying? They
Yeah,
took
but
out.
the problem is that the Palestinians and the Hamas terrorists, they set up their bases in orphanages and under hospitals and shit
Of
like that.
course
So
they
that,
did.
yeah.
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 Human
So they had
shields,
no
human
choice
shields.
Hmm.
but to take some of those areas out when they had to.
Well,
Oh
if
I
you
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
remember under Bush when we were, hey Marcus and
But you know
Peter
just
what? I
hide
mean,
Saturday,
behind me, Kerry, and I'll be able to shoot anybody if you hide in front of me. Get in front
hell,
of me
Peter
now.
in the chat,
Mike
Hacker
We don't
Walters,
want people
Patterson.
doing that to you or anybody. And
Hey,
it
Mike.
just so
um,
happens that there are some people that have the guts enough and fortitude to stand up and do something about it. I would not want to see murder, just chaos. It's already happening here. It ain't happening
Right.
around us. That ain't gonna
feel
happen.
your
Just wait.
hands, you son of a bitch. I don't take orders from one-eyed fat man.
I said, fill your
Little True
hands,
Grit
you
there.
son of a bitch.
Anyway, yeah, during the
Look,
Bush years when we were in Afghanistan, Bush wouldn't let Israel hit them early on in Iran because they would have had to fly over Afghanistan,
look.
and
Right.
he wouldn't let them strike. And when they were first getting started with the nuclear stuff, so
Hmm.
again, Bush wimping out,
Well, yeah, and then
uh,
Obama released the $400 million or whatever the fuck it was, and gave them money to fuel their nuclear program. So,
Isn't it what it's all about?
well, I mean, when
mhm.
Clinton went out of office, he was saying it's going to be good. They're not going to get the nuke, and yeah, North Korea
They were
got
days
got
away
got.
from it.
I'm not froze. I'm just stunned. Anyway, uh, North Korea
Sorry.
uh,
Sorry.
got the nuclear capability, and he's off the chain. Over there all the time, showing launching missiles over Japan and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You don't want that in the Middle East. You don't want any of that in the Middle East.
No.
no,
We don't
It'll
want look, man. We
destabilize
don't
everything.
want murder anywhere. We don't want chaos and evil to run rampant anywhere.
Right.
I don't
And
want. I wouldn't hate to see them running around, and they probably already are killing whole villages. I don't care where it is, Africa, China, if they're doing stuff like that, the world ought to rise up against them. But that's not what's happening. It's all about the buck. Show me the money and we'll help you. Maybe. Oh,
I think you're right,
we'll
Apex.
take advantage of y'all. Y'all are stupid. Just give us all the money, y'all.
I mean, they're even nice
But
enough
hey,
in Israel that
what do I know?
they put out announcements to the Palestinians and tell them, if you're in this area, get your ass out, because we're coming.
Because, there will be problems.
hmm But I mean, and that's
And
ridiculous
if
because
people,
that's giving away your plan of attack and still being able to do it. So off the chain carry means he's acting with no rules. He's
yeah, no
schizoid.
rules.
He's out of his tiny little mind.
Yeah, like when they take a camera and they film these guys and they just behead some American citizen. Oh, well, that's
hmm
okay. Let's show it to everybody in the whole world. Of course, the whole world is the odds, big
Yeah.
deal.
Well, I mean, that's the
Big
goal
deal. Yeah,
is the
real big
world.
deal to me, bro. I certainly wouldn't want anybody doing that to me or my family. Let me
Of
tell you
course
something.
not.
I ain't gonna stand around and watch. I can tell you that much. They're gonna have to take my head off first.
Well, if we're here when everything starts going down, you ain't gonna have no choice, else.
I won't have a choice because I'm not going to be in that position to make a choice because it's already been made. Okay. It's just like sin. I've already chosen not to do certain things. So when that temptation comes along, it's easy to say no.
Now
Oh,
But
that's
when
the
I
sure.
piece
decided
pieces.
I am going to do something like protect my family, protect my neighbor, protect my dog, I will. I have
Exactly.
that right. You know,
Don't you fire a nuclear missile at my dog now.
I ain't fire a nuclear
It's
missile. Hey,
okay,
look,
Rex. It's
I
a little
might.
tiny one.
It's like this. Don't fire one at anybody because if you do, I would think the whole world should come against you. The whole world. But that won't happen.
Well, first
Everybody's going to
person.
take sides. Everybody takes sides, man.
Well, hey, I mean, you'd have thought that people would have come after the United States after we dropped those 2 atom bombs on Japan, but everybody else didn't have them yet, so they didn't come
Not
after
only
shit.
that, they saw what happened, bro.
Yeah.
Why would they come after us, Shadowhawk? We
They
were
ain't
Ain't
coming.
nobody
They're not
to
coming
come
over
after.
here because they don't want to fight a land war with American citizens. We got more guns in this country than the rest of the world has
They ain't
altogether.
coming over here, man. They
Fucking,
don't
there'll
want
be
to come over
12-year-old
here.
kids out there with 22s sniping them from the fucking rooftops and shit, man. I guarantee you, I taught my daughters how to shoot, man. Every one of them will be fucking have a gun in their hand.
Who was it? Somebody was telling us ammos are real cheap right now, probably. So, LZ, you might want to get
Comparatively,
some. Yeah, you might want to stock
A
up on some
what?
ammo right now.
I'll tell you
It's
what, dude,
always
doing
Uh,
that last 4 years of Obama, you couldn't buy 9mm ammo to save your life. Not without paying
now they send it to you on
outrageous
the
price.
internet.
No, even on the internet,
Yeah.
Obama had the military buying up all the 9mm shells because that's
yeah
what their standard issue guns are. Their sidearms.
on like their websites and stuff. They would list some stuff and it wouldn't last 5 minutes. People would just bam like
hmm
piranha.
And you never had a
Oh, that
problem
was
getting
that was Homer
getting
saying that
22
ammo was at a good
ammunition.
price. That was Homer that was saying ammo was at a good
Ah,
price right
there
now.
you go, Homer. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Probably
I
because he don't buy none like
I might
me.
have to go stock up on a little bit.
Don't need boy unless I'm gonna be practicing a lot. What I
Shadow, did
think I'm
your
gonna take out the whole army? No.
recently your landlord came over? Speaking of shooting someone, I guess
Oh
that
yeah,
went all right.
Lord.
yeah, that
Man.
was last Thursday. Everything went great, and apparently the landlord told the wife that they love us because we always pay on time, and like
Yeah.
they own a bunch of houses in the area, and
People that
like
you drive
apparently we're the only ones who pay on time on everybody.
hey, I don't want to be beholden to nobody.
Well, I got to pay my rent, man. That's
Well,
you know,
yeah, I mean
I
that's
don't
the
have,
first
I don't
thing.
have my own house, so I got to
That and
fucking,
utilities. Hey, even if it's yours, you better pay.
yeah,
Yeah.
No
exactly.
kidding. I mean that and the utilities. You want to keep the
Mm.
lights on, and you want to keep
I mean,
it
the only
cool.
good thing about being a renter is you don't have to pay the property tax every year. You know.
Yeah, which is really nothing. You can have that taken out in your mortgage.
Dude, you'd be
Let me
surprised. It
tell you
depends where
something.
you live.
That's true. Well, not here, dude. How about that?
Yeah, here it's a couple of grand, man.
Well, I pay state and city, and both together about maybe two.
Yeah, see, that's not bad where you're at, but yeah, you got to pay uh
I got to pay them both because I'm in
state,
the city, and I got to pay the
and
county.
then of course you pay taxes on every mortgage payment that you make, so they got you
Of
double
course.
tax there,
Yeah.
and then they triple tax you if the state taxes you on top of the federal government. Now you're giving you triple tax. I mean,
No
didn't we
state
have a
tax here.
revolutionary war to stop all this taxation without representation?
Here's
I
what you
seem to
got, man.
remember
Oh, they
reading some
tell you,
stories.
oh, you got representation, brother. You
Yeah, we
got
got
it.
representation that's trying to steal from us.
I don't care. It still got representation, don't you?
All right, sure. Okay. I
That's the
guess then
government.
I shouldn't be
That's
able to
the
complain.
government. That's the government. That's when you rise up,
The
man.
thing of it is, the majority of them are not working on our interest. So, do we
No,
really have
they're working
That's
on their
representation
own
right.
like that?
interest. What? How do you think Nancy Pelosi got so fucking rich since she's been in
Oh,
Congress?
Why are
oh,
you
yeah,
picking
Inside
yeah.
on
trading.
her? We know that. Look at all the other jokers that got rich.
All of them. I just threw her out there as an example, dude. Every
Yeah,
fucking one of them are doing the same thing.
of course.
It, I don't care who they are. Even Trump probably fucking, I mean, with some
I
of the
know.
shit he's doing right now, I ain't too
We
happy
don't
with him
know.
either.
That's the whole thing, Shadow. We don't know. We don't know what goes on back there behind that because we don't get involved in it. We don't want nothing to do with
Well,
it.
I know what comes out of Trump's mouth, though.
Well, sure. I know what comes out of my pocket. And
Exactly.
you know what? As long as I've been alive, it's been about the same for 68 years, except it
Mm-hmm.
increases with how much everything is
Yeah, it
around.
just the price goes up every year. That's
It
all.
goes along with everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
So,
try
I
paying
ain't seen that
property
big a
taxes in
change.
New York. I bet
Yeah.
that's
Now
insane.
I have seen some good slapbacks, like I get a good rebate here and there. Oh yeah, I got 500, I got 1,500 or whatever. I can't remember, but a few times I even got anything back. Here lately, I get it all back. Since it got
Shit,
old.
dude, I got so screwed because of my ex and
I
my child
know,
support that the last
man.
2 years I just got done paying off $3,600 in taxes from last fucking year, and now I got 4,200 in taxes from this year.
They never let you go, man.
Dude, I had 900 just to the state because I ended up. It was just because of my child support, and the kid moved. He moved to California right after he turned 18. So I paid
Not
child
gonna
support
try,
for a
brother.
whole
Don't
extra
want to
year,
try.
and they sent me back a 1 month check, a one
I
month
did
rebate.
that. I did that with, the clause in the thing was like, till she graduates to high school or she's 18. Well, she turned 18, but she ain't graduated yet. So,
Yeah, but all that changed under Obama too, man. Because if they decide to go to college, you're responsible for them till they're 25.
wow. Mark,
Yeah.
well, one of you read this. I've got my
I
PC
had
in
a
my lap.
2,100 square foot house, and my property taxes were over $8,000 per year. Hey,
Wow,
Marcus,
that's
we
not a
got it.
big house either.
Why don't you move on down here, brother? You can get a mansion and pay about an eighth of that.
Yeah.
He's got to go where the money is. So it may be high
Oh,
cost of
well, if
living, but
that's
he
what it
makes
is.
more.
Okay.
I agree with you, ILC. I
No,
mean,
Trump's
the
not
pay
taking
is,
any money being the president, but this shit with we're not gonna be so hard on the aliens, the illegals who are working on farms and in the hotel industry. It's not a good look. Trump
Look,
owns
Shadow, here's the
60,
look,
70
bro.
fucking hotels. It
Here's,
may not be indirectly going in his pocket, but
let me tell you, he's getting so much from all those businesses saying we need these people. But regardless of all that, Okay, first thing he's doing, he's going after people, murder, pedophile,
I get it,
thieves.
but that's no
Look,
excuse for it. He came out of his
no,
own
and you
mouth
know
the other
what?
day.
Pam Bondi even said, now, if we ran
Here we
across, they
go.
went to that hotel and they were getting some guy and they found 10 of those illegals, they'd all go to jail. They're not going to be discriminated about the
Right,
law.
but they're not. They're
They're
pausing
not
all of
actually
their
looking for them. No.
no, and they're not going to farms and shit anymore. Now they're
So many
concentrating on.
millions they got to find that came across illegal, just came
I
across.
understand that, but they're concentrating on other areas purposely now.
Okay.
And
I didn't
like I
know. I
said,
don't know everything. I'm just,
it's a bad fucking look, dude, because Trump owns, I don't know, 50, 100 hotels, and all of a sudden he's going to go light on the illegals that work in the hotel industry. That doesn't fucking look good, dude. I don't even like that
Have
look.
you seen them criticizing in the last few days about that?
I hadn't even
Ever?
heard about
Oh
it.
yeah,
So I don't
they've
know
been
what.
going nuts for like 4 or 5 days now since he came out and announced it.
You know, the farming part I can kind of see because, like,
And the
I
hotel
mean,
industry, I don't give a shit. You know, fuck that. Tourism can
Yeah.
take a hit until they can find American workers.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people that ain't working in this country that need jobs, and supposedly they're
That
redoing
could do that job. That could
they're
do that.
redoing welfare and
yeah,
all that. Where if
Okay.
you're
I'm
healthy
trying to
and
steer this barge, but it seems to have went aground. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'll let you have it.
take the wheel,
Uh,
Rex, I don't care.
Because if I took over, I'm sorry.
well, I'm just saying, you know, farming I can see a little bit because
Gary, this was actually out of his mouth. I watched him speak the words about 4 or 5 days ago. Oh,
yeah,
and he was
yeah,
talking about
just
sending
Google it.
an executive order. So it is what it is. I'm very disappointed with Trump right now. But I mean, overall, he's been doing a great job. But that really fucking
I'm not okay, but it's all going to be all right.
Yeah, in the end, it's going to be all right. I mean,
yeah.
I hate it
It's
wishy
Sooner or
all
washy.
later,
going to
I'll
be
lay
all
down and
right.
go to sleep and not wake up, and everything will be all right.
I'm not okay, but it's all going to be all right. Now, that's some jelly roll right there.
Yeah, I'm with you, Shadowhawk. I wish I was anyway. Anytime he
Wish you were
sings it,
dead.
even on the phone, I can't get him to shut up. Well,
You
you
don't
say
say
what you
nothing.
got in your heart,
Me and
brother.
Shadow both quit talking, and what'd you do?
Yeah,
Cricket.
except
I'm stymied. Yeah, I just, don't know where to steer it after that,
Well, that's why we're steering it for you, because you don't know what you're doing. Oh,
no, yeah, Carrie, I get it, and there is a lot of that
just
shit here
playing.
too, and I understand. I mean, maybe I can understand giving the farmers a break until they can find new legal employees. But as far as the hotel industry and fucking what do they call that? Damn it, entertainment industry, hotel and entertainment. If they need to lose some money for a while, screw them. Let them lose the money for a while.
I don't think Trump is worried about, it looking bad on him. I mean, he doesn't have to get reelected. Trump deported less people than Obama and even Sleepy Joe. Well, he's not done yet, Lorenzo.
He's just getting
So,
started. Come on,
so I
Lorenzo.
did.
He hasn't even been in a year yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he ain't done yet. I think he'll be deporting people all his presidency, don't you? The whole time.
Oh yeah, no, I
He's
mean
got
it's
to.
he better. I
And
mean
it's
that's one
nothing
of the
new.
things.
Eisenhower deported over 1 million. I mean, up
Mhm.
till Obama's time, Democratic presidents were speaking out about illegal aliens. But
I know.
we know they really didn't mean it. We know they didn't really mean it, but hold them to
No,
the word, Anyway, yeah, share that. Let's see. Did you notice that Bog Dale A's on the thumbnail today? Bog has 3 fingers.
no, I didn't
Three.
even notice.
He drew him with
Oh,
3 fingers. I mean,
oh,
you
was that
don't
Dale
see the
drawing?
fingers
Okay.
because it's a fist, but there's no way you can put in a 4th finger there. He gave Bog 3 fingers. I never noticed that
And
until today.
is it a problem?
Well, I mean, it's not the character. I mean, he does have 4 fingers, but I don't care. He did an awesome job
Wow.
on it.
I'm
He
just
did that
saying. I
overall.
mean, if it
Okay,
doesn't,
show.
Well,
if it
how many
doesn't, oh
webs
yeah,
does
I'll have
Spider-Man
to.
have on his suit? Oh,
Okay,
Oh yeah,
Lorenzo
in
was
his first,
talking about in his first term.
oh well, that
oh
I
yeah, in his
understand.
first term, yeah, he deported way less than Biden
yeah.
and Obama. But that's
We'll
because
agree.
he was a lame duck
4
for his
fingers.
last 2 years,
Yeah.
and
Or
everything he tried to do, they voted him down and didn't let him do anything. So I mean, is what it is. That's why the midterms are so important.
Oh yeah, the midterms they tend to slack off. That's for sure, and we don't need to. I hope
I
this
don't.
one
I go
is a
vote
little bit different.
fucking full Republican ticket every time. Wow.
The Mythicals 3 is closing. It is closed, rather. South River Studios. Our friend
Yeah,
Hojo. Yeah, I
Hojo.
want to tell you thanks for backing the Mythicals 3. It was another success. I'm so blessed to have people like you in my corner. This will be the last message from this platform. In a few weeks, I will be adding you to Substack. You should receive a confirmation email to opt out. I hope you stay on board because we are doing big things. I'll leave you with a sneak peek, the line art from Corey Barton's for Samuel's origin in the Mythicals half mini comic to accompany the trade in the early fall. And the character of Samuel is the cat, the little mythical cat. I'll show you that. So we have people fulfilling, and we have people. Wait a minute, Elsie.
I understand what Lorenzo is saying. The problem is Trump is fucking pulling back on doing the fucking deportations, and now he's making exceptions, and he's making exceptions for an industry that he just happens to have a lot of investments in. It doesn't fucking look good. I don't care who you are. It doesn't look good to Republicans. It don't look good to Democrats. It doesn't look good to fucking goddamn Eric July and his libertarian shit.
Optics.
very nice. You can tell that's watercolor.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, those are the production artwork. That's for the Adler collection, right, Elsie?
Who was the girl riding the pterodactyl?
I do not believe it was a girl, my friend.
Oh, was it a dude? Oh, it's hard to see when it's that tiny. I thought it was a chick up there.
And it's not really defined too well because it's is the watercolor.
It's we'd have to see a Superman 260 to really find out. The keeper.
Okay. I was just wondering who the villain was.
The keeper of the eternal flame is what he's
okay.
calling. He's throwing it at Superman. Kind of messed him up there. And this has probably been fun to go to.
Oh yeah, one of the early conventions, comic book conventions, 1976. Almost 50 years ago, come next year.
Yeah, Omer, I hate to break it to you. It don't matter if we got the Republicans or the Democrats or whoever else is in fucking power. They're all gonna fucking take our money and put it in their pockets. That's just what they do.
Look at that beauty.
Yeah, now that's a painted one, isn't it?
An acetate that has Death of Haunted Tank on the acetate. And it's hand painted underneath, of course.
Now I'm confused. I thought it was a painting, and then you said acetate.
It's both, my friend. I said there's an acetate on top of this. Let's just say it this way: on top of this painting is an acetate, that says death.
Well, I had
Oh,
tank.
okay. So an overlay of the lettering. Okay.
And I bet there's somebody who approved it as well. And since there's no tape, I'm gonna look.
Yeah, on the back they had a little approval box stamped there, and they would initial.
Oh yeah, see whose initials are on that one.
Uh-huh. Joe Orlando and Carmen Infantino and Jack Adler. Okay,
couldn't
what
tell
is
you.
that, Elsie?
That's what's written on the back of this, my friend, and I couldn't tell you who wrote it.
Oh yeah, we sure do, Homer.
Looks like someone's signature.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
This is STA, I think STANG or SOHN or something. But some of them got like a label that's attached to the back that has like 3 or 4, sometimes 3 signatures, sometimes just 1.
Yeah.
I mean, initials.
Oh wow.
I'll
Well, I
find one
forget.
that has one. I know I got one.
Well, Elsie, do you know Joe Orlando's designation? What job he was doing around that time?
Let's see here. I've got Joe Orlando some staff paper, and maybe it'll tell us.
Yeah, maybe.
'Cause-
That's
but
that was his stationery, right?
yeah,
Mhm.
stationery. Little pad he had, and you Rex, you know as well as I do, it probably ain't gonna tell us it. But it's got his phone number down at the
No,
bottom.
I mean, usually it has the information there, like up in
Yeah.
the corner, but maybe not on this one.
See, it says Joe Orlando at the bottom with his phone number.
Okay.
And on the back, it's got that Superman who's holding up that dot.
Where he's holding
You
up
gotta
the
see
yeah.
through it.
Yeah, that's different from the Adler stationery.
Yeah,
It might have been
Adler's a
issued.
full page. This is like out of a little stationery thing he had.
Mhm.
And how many of these are left in the world?
Yeah, really.
Probably not many.
Some of the people that work for DCC Comics probably don't ran out of it and never had it.
But
and
I
never
would
kept
think maybe this would have a label on the back. This hand painted Superman.
it. Well, that's an
On
unusual
top of
one to have an overlay with the lettering like that. I
Yeah.
don't have one like that in the collection. I've got some complete acetates, which are like color guides with the different layers.
Yeah, I've
And
got
I
it
know
too.
you do too, but that's an unusual one in the collection to have like an overlay with the lettering.
And they did
printed
that
on
a few times in some books. If you'll notice, even that white figure that'll be in the back, it'll be an acetate painted in white, whatever's back there, like a ghost or something. That's just that little stack I grabbed. You want me to show any more?
Homer, I
Just
think
let
it's
me know.
just a couple of cities. It's not the state. There's just a few cities that
And
Gone
since we
now.
got Lorenzo here, he was wanting to know about an update for the Devil Flyer campaign. I was trying to put that in, and my broadband went out last night, and so I'll get back to that soon. We figured out how to update on the Fund My Comic campaign. It took us a little
Since
bit.
you
I found
asked about it, Rex,
it.
and since you asked about the acetate, I can show it. It's really neat to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I've
yeah,
not
that's
seen one
cool.
like that
Hand
before.
painted. And then
And I don't know that I've seen that unless you showed it like when you were showing them all before.
maybe all before, but I've had
Yeah.
it. As soon as I saw it, I said, I got to have that one, Robert.
Yeah.
As he explained to me, oh man, you'll like it. It's got acetate on top of it. And it's got
How is it stapled to the top? How's it adhere to
it's
the top?
taped. It's
Taped.
taped.
Okay. Yeah, that's a fragile little thing from
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
50 years
And
ago.
like I said, how many of these were burned, Rick?
Yeah. Oh, bunch. The majority.
He had
Very little was
10%
saved
of
before.
1%. He
Yeah.
he estimated he had like 10% of 1% that was saved. 1% wasn't saved, 10% of 1% was.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
see,
think
I like these ghosts. This is the actual approval cover to it. But one of my favorites of all was one of his favorites, Jack Adler. When he hand painted, he liked
Neil Adams.
Tomahawk.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, huh?
And see, Jack signed it here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've
He
got
didn't
one
sign.
sign. I've got a Tomahawk sign by him that you used to have, and you traded it back for something else, and then I bought it because it was signed by Jack Adler and ballpoint pen. And
Now, I would be willing to say this has something on the back. I will look.
okay,
I mean, how many times did he sign something only because he was asked to by Robert, really?
well, I and Omer had looked before Lorenzo on how to update, and at least Omer said we did for an hour or two, and we couldn't find it. But yeah, I mean, I've never looked for the updates, on the platform, but we did find it and a couple other things on there. And I showed Omer, how I got there because I was the one that found it. And yeah, I was getting ready to enter in the new update, which the newest update is that John Dillard has been paid for 2 pages to be, put in the book, either 2 Silver Boa pages or 2 Devil Flower pages. I really don't care which one he starts, first, but that's the latest update.
I'd like to see Dillard's take on Silver Boa.
Yeah, he's going to do both. On one side will be the Golden Age, and one side will be the modern.
Hey Rex, I found one that has a label. If they want to see what a label looks like.
Yeah,
okay.
Just kind of stamped in blue, isn't it?
He would hand paint this Joker, and then he would send it out. And on the back, you see it has.
Oh wow, that's got a tacked on thing. All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Carmen Infantino's initials are right there.
Right.
Somebody could be, I don't know who it is.
Probably Joe Orlando.
Oh yeah.
And then there's a date out beside it, and there's other things for like if you want to make some lettering changes or art changes.
What does it say with the O there? That's probably Joe Orlando. What does it say above that?
Approved, and also it says approved above Carmen Infantino.
Okay. So, Carmen Infantino was the editor-in-chief at the time. And
he used to draw Flash, right, back in the day?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I liked him on the Flash, man.
Yeah.
Carmen Infantino was very talented.
Yeah. I love the way he did his run on the Flash. None of the other artists seem to be able to capture that the after image thing, like the way he did.
Yeah, the speed trail behind him.
Yeah, but he would actually draw in like the Flash's body like 15, 20 times, just like sketched into the speed trail.
Like a machine gun almost.
Which, to talk about the updates one more time, because it's just now coming back to me, Justin Chrome Dog, right?
Justin Sweet.
He helped me. Yeah, Justin Sweet. And we did the mail up a little bit different, not through MailChimp. Okay, there we go. If you want to show that. Can we just pause this for a second?
And this one's real nice. It's signed by him too. Like I said, the signatures that have Jack Adler are very hard to get, aren't they, Rex?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And he's been passed away for probably a decade now. He was the vice president of production of DC Comics. And
he said Joe
it's
Orlando
alleged that he worked on the plates, the printing of Action Comics #1.
Yeah, that's great.
Look at that. I bet
there's Walt Simonson, right? Early Walt Simonson for DC.
Look at it, sign that. We know he signed it.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't change it.
I'll bow down and worship later. Anyway, the updates on the campaign
Here's
which
one
I'm
in
really
Shadow
trying to
Light.
get to. I give up. I do.
Justin,
Really. I know. Chill out, Rex.
just mute
Oh,
LZ for a minute. He's not realizing you're trying to move into another.
oh, my bad. My bad. Is he moving on?
I kicked myself.
He was wanting to
But
talk
now
about
I'm
the
back.
updates to the campaign.
Yeah, just let me
Alright.
get in the line here. The updates. That was the Bernie Wrightson he just
It's
showed.
all
So,
good. Yeah.
Oh hell, I'd rather look at that.
well, I know, but Lorenzo has been pleading for me to put an update up. You know, which
Well, we
you
got
know,
to take care of our business now.
okay, if I can gather my mind back to what I was trying to say. Don't know.
You're trying to talk about your updates.
Yeah. What did I want to say about that? I don't know. It's just blood pressure's up all of a sudden. I don't know.
You were talking, that probably was related to your
Yeah.
internet going out.
It's yeah. It's I really don't know. I really don't know. I'm just my mind's blown right now. I don't know what to say. It'll come back to me. Has anyone created a supervillain called the Flasher? Not that I know of, Lorenzo.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, it's a little different on some of my comics, sending out the updates. It's not that difficult once we found where to do it from. But yeah, Dillard, the latest news is Dillard will be starting here pretty soon. I don't know what his schedule is. I haven't talked to him, but he has been paid for a couple more pages. And those pages have already been laid out. They've been laid out since early this year. It's just I haven't had the money to get to him for him to do them. But once he gets to it, it'll probably take him less than a week. Maybe I'm going to say about 4 days when he really gets on it. He's pretty quick. And oh yeah, Justin, thank you, Carrie. Yeah, Justin. That's what I was saying. Is the mail up was a little bit different. Did a little bit different. We didn't go with MailChimp or put it on the campaign. So I can't send. I'm gonna have to get with Justin if I want to send out your traditional update. All the updates for right now will have to be on the campaign till I figure out the mailing list and then send out a mass update for the campaign. But we're getting close. We're shooting for fulfillment at the end of next month. We've got a lot to produce in the meantime. We, like I said, we still got artwork for Dillard to work on. He is very quick, but and then compile it together. I did go by the printers, the local printers today. She's supposed to call me at some point. She was out on lunch. The other graphic designer was there, and I spoke with her, who I first produced stuff with. They are short. They've got a new intern. One person did from the graphic department did quit. So, and I've been giving them just time. I delivered, the last thing I did was deliver the stuff that I got over at Elsie's house, the Buscema drawings, which it will be our next book, The Unseen Art of John Buscema. So I don't know where she is on the scanning. I know I haven't received any files or anything to pass on to Glenn or whatever. And that's not going to be all, because I've still got some of the artwork here at the house. I have to get to her, but I've been shorthanded. They weren't busy when I went in today. That's one reason I had to go by there.
Did you keep an eye on your drawings?
What does that mean? Can you clarify what that means?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Right. Well, I've had my whole Adler collection down there almost that she scanned, and that's a lot of money there. And she said, that it'll be safe here. So, and it was returned to me. So, yeah, they keep a pretty close eye on that stuff.
That's
and
good.
I always let her know this is worth some money, definitely worth some bucks. but she scanned almost all my Adlers. There might be one or two around here that I didn't give her to scan, but so we were already ahead on the Jack Adler thing if we go ahead and do a Jack Adler book. And I'm looking in at the viability of getting a scanner myself again. Either that or get this one fixed. I don't know. I do have another scanner that's older. I don't know if that would fill the bill or not. But
Get me a good one.
well, a good one. I mean, if we're gonna, when all I know is when we take these massively big Conan pages down there to scan, they come up a little bit short at Office Max, and they have a larger one than my printer down here. So, you'd have to go through Photoshop and kind of marry the images, and about the only thing it doesn't get is the page number, but I want that on there too when we print the book.
Yeah, it's relevant.
So I want everything that's on there.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have the page numbers.
Yeah, I mean, I've identified most of them, but I'm still trying to identify some of them.
Even with the page number,
man.
Yeah, the page number just tells you the page number. I think those Savage Sword of Conans were like maybe 46 pages. They were pretty big magazines, something like that. And so
I think they were at 46 or 48.
Might have
something
been
like that.
more than that. You got to count by 2 or 4s. So yeah, whatever it was, it was a lot per issue. Generally about 3 Conan stories in one magazine, if I remember right.
There's a lot of meat reading in them things, man.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I didn't pay them much heed when they came out, but I've collected a bunch of them, tried to marry them up with the artwork, which will be good. And I know you've got some too. And there's a specific time, like late 80s, early 90s, when John Buscema was doing like that. I've got one that I always forget about, and it's probably in the safe. I've got 2 Yellow Jackets. He did like Yellow Jacket side by side on one, and he was, of course, the person that designed Yellow Jacket and came up for Yellow Jacket in the Avengers. And Yellow Jacket is a public domain name. There was a Yellow Jacket in the Golden Age, but do I think that those are like early preliminary drawings of him designing Yellow Jacket? Possible, but I would say probably around late 80s, early 90s. Often the stuff that INLZ bought years ago was signed, but it wasn't dated. None of it was dated. Yeah. Wow. So when I was glad to see when Hastings was around, which was the largest retailer of comic books in the South, I guess, because hardly anybody knows about them, but they were awesome. It was an awesome sort of pop culture, anything pop culture stores. Did you have a Hastings over there in Jackson, Mississippi at one time before they closed? Elsie?
Jackson, Tennessee.
Well, where you live?
No.
Okay. But I think I know you and I went into Hastings when it was open.
I've been to yours.
Yeah.
I went to yours with you.
Yeah, I think it was like 2015 maybe when they closed down here. I'm not sure. It's been a while.
Could have been a while.
Yeah. And I know that one time you and I went in there and they had the monster Hot Wheels with the Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein and Creature car and all that. They had the stand and everything. The campaign update will be good for folks who don't watch your streams. Yeah. Yeah. That's true, Lorenzo. And, we'll have a closeout party at some point, and hopefully we can get some new backers at that time too. Final push for the campaign, but things are coming together, really well. I'm going to have to get some keychains made, get some pogs made, get some slammers made. I'm gonna have to get acrylic standee and the tapestries so it's not just the books. And I'm doing a hardback for the very first time. So all this is new, but I know who to go to for what, like Critical Blast is going to help me. Welcome to the show, Ethan Van Mark R. Largent. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Hi, guys. Hey, how's it? Long time no see.
Wow.
Yeah,
Hey, Mark.
check out his
Good to see you, man.
latest T-shirt there, his latest shirt.
Yeah.
If he'll stand up there. There we go.
Oh, nice.
Fantastic Four. He's been buying these shirts from China. While we're trying to limit China,
Hey, man,
he's been keeping them in business.
if you throw him a $20 bill and wait a month and a half, you'll get it.
I see those advertised on Facebook, and I'm constantly looking at them because
Let me
they
tell
are
you
really
something,
cool.
Mark. I don't ever have to iron these babies. When they hit the dryer, I pull them out and they're perfect.
Aren't they like nylon?
Nice.
Or
Yeah, they
not
don't
nylon?
hardly ever wrinkle, man.
Mhm.
It's a good thing
I
about
bet
them.
they're hot as hell. Of course, you get cold.
Hey, I like hot. So
Hastings closed their store between late 2015 and fall of 2017. Apex.
yeah, and Rex was there.
Yeah, I was there.
So did I.
Fortunately, I was a caregiver and I got paid every day. It was 6 days a week, and I would go down there every day and spend my $52 that I got paid. I got paid daily, and they
You
were
would
going out of
not believe
business.
the deals. If you knew the deals, you would have been there with him.
I got like 1,500 comics.
Wow.
I got some vinyl banks. I got some I think even porcelain that maybe that creature. I don't know if that's porcelain or resin or what.
There were some comics like a dime, and they would give you something like 90% off, and he'd pay.
But that was at the end of it. I actually got a one or two for free because it didn't ring up in the register.
Didn't even charge you.
Yeah, it didn't even charge me. Yeah.
By the way, we owe you $1 for getting this comic.
The only day I didn't go in on their closing was the very last day when they had, because the day before I had gotten everything I wanted anyway. And it was going to be a madhouse on that last day. They really didn't have that much. It was like a picked over carcass by that point.
Yeah, I was going to say, usually at the end, those places are deserted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Buzzards flying.
I hid the comic books that had like the Hastings variants and stuff like that. And nobody saw them and bought them. So on that last day I went in, I bought what I wanted, what I had set aside, You
just don't know how much time that man spent in there looking.
I never heard of Hastings Entertainment.
So. They had drawers full, brother.
Well, at the time of their closing, they had they were the largest retailer of comic books in America, and I was surprised when I came on the show here, on YouTube talking about Hastings. Everybody's like, "Oh, I never heard of them." I'm like, "Really?"
Nope, me neither.
Because I was buying in the early days. I was buying off a spinner rack there at Hastings with barcodes. I mean, this is past 2000. That's less than 1% of the run. I just wish I'd bought more because I didn't realize what I had there. I do now,
Yeah.
I would have been buying everything off that spinner rack had I had the money. But
I guess
didn't
they were just never in.
Huh?
I was just saying, I guess they were never in any of the states I lived in.
I guess not. I mean, I guess it was a southern thing. In the South, it was like a pop culture type thing. They had CDs, they had vinyl, they had like superhero glasses, which I think I got a set of superhero glasses. They had anything pop cultures. They had
It says they were Arkansas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, and Texas.
That's it?
That's it.
Wow.
Well, I heard at the time of their closing, they were the largest comic book distributor, retail store. So, but I bought vinyl.
I had no idea, Mark Shadow, when Rex went there. I had no idea, man. This dude was pulling out these big old drawers, like invisible stash of comics all over the place. And I was like, oh my Gosh, I didn't know. I
At
saw
first,
some.
That's
I hit the
crazy.
99 cent because, as it progressed over the month, everything got cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. But at first, I started real cheap in the 99-cent box and got a lot of air sale, black and whites, uh, just about all those. Anything that was, and they had like, I don't know, half dozen long boxes full. So it took me 2-3 days to go through those things, pick through them and get
Wow.
the best. And then I started like at the A's and worked myself down, I guess. And then I would just kind of pick up from the next day. And fortunately, I was able to go in there every day and look, see what they had marked down. And I got this massive Jargonaut and a couple of incredible Hulk figures that are like part of the Marvel Signature series. I mean, they had, I picked up one Spock, one like that figure with the changeable hands and heads. I've
Hmm.
shown all this stuff on the show in the past, but they had like vinyl banks. Like I picked this Batman vinyl bank up there, and Daredevil and Captain America and stuff like that. Those nice little vinyl banks. So I got a little bit of everything. At first, I went after the comic book pages, the Bristol comic book pages that they had, the blue line things, and the boards and bags, the comic book supplies. That was the very first thing I went after, cleared them out because I didn't carry a lot of that to begin with.
Piranha knows where to go.
Yeah, they had, that might have been where I got some of those, where those Conan, where they, Dark Horse reprinted all the 226 issues, I think it is, of Savage Sword of Conan in book form, and I've got some of those books right here. But that was how I identified the actual Buscema pages that we have, and some of it I still haven't identified. Don't know what it is.
I got a lot too.
You just have to keep, look around and keep looking, and maybe we'll find out what goes to what. What's been going on in Texas besides protesting?
Well, nobody's been protesting in my apartment, so that's been good.
You've been staying at the house.
Yeah, I've been trying like crazy
Like
to
me.
get done with stuff for the DVDs.
Oh,
Somehow,
yeah.
so I've been making like little making of documentaries, which I've decided are harder to do than the movies themselves. But the first one, I think, was like 6 or 8 minutes long. The second one was like 12, and somehow this third one now is like 21 minutes. And it's trying to find visuals to go with everything is the hard part. And I don't know, it's just a slog, but
now you're not
it is.
using any AI, are you?
I am. I was about to say I'm using this British lady's voice for the narrator, so it sounds like it's from the BBC or something. I get a laugh every time it goes, "Next Sergeant went and did this." But and then I've got the for my voice for my sections, I have like this AI animated puppet of me. I think everybody ran off.
Everybody quiet. Yeah. I was actually setting up this. I was going to show you Cross Comics, their video that they've done. Wait a minute. That's not it. This is, he kind of dropped it in our DM group. That's not it. Let's see. Take that down. There we go. I'm sure Rick won't mind if we play this.
Oh, this is the one you told me about, right?
A man being transported through time by God. An angel appears telling him put on a nearby suit. And after that he must travel south. The suit on he is endowed with incredible powers. Canadian shield with the power of strength. Canadian shield with the power of speed. Canadian shield with the power of flight. Canadian shield with many more powers. Will fight the evil that comes his way and help those he can in need. Another man wanting end his life. Canadian shield saves him in the nick of time. Now he lets the man no reasons to live. With this the man goes on to live many more days. Canadian shield with the power of strength. Canadian shield with the power of speed. Canadian shield with the power of flight. Canadian shield with many more powers. To fight the evil that comes his way and help those he can in need. A villain appears and threatens many. Canadian shield rush to the scene. A battle ensues and blows are traded. The Canadian shield wins and many are saved. Canadian shield with the power of strength. Canadian shield with the power of speed. Canadian shield with the power of flight. Canadian shield with many more powers. Will fight the evil that comes his way and help those he can in need.
The Canadian Shield 3 coming your way on Fund My Comic on July 5th, 2025 at noon Eastern Standard Time. Be there! Oh yeah! Canadian Shield!
Friday had a aneurysm. When, sit wrong on his hemorrhoids or something. I don't know.
So did he use like panels from his book as the source for those animations, or have you seen?
I think
does
so.
the art match?
Maybe.
Um, yeah, I have found, like, I've taken a couple of comic panels and tried to animate them, and it doesn't hold the line work very well.
Yeah. He said that the cat that he was rescuing from the tree had two tails.
Oh, that's right. You told me that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Sometimes you wind
I'm
up with six fingers.
Yeah, I'm assuming that he used AI to create the song too.
Yeah, I think he said he did.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty impressive. I mean, I've dealt with animators and had to pay animators, and it takes a lot of money, even on the cheap.
It is. I
Yeah.
wouldn't even consider hiring animators because you can't afford to pay somebody how much time it'd actually take to do it.
Mhm. Yeah, you better have a big payoff. It better be very beneficial to whatever
Yeah.
you're doing.
I mean, I
Yeah.
always think about the fact that if I considered how much time I put into these stall treks, I call them be low budget, but they would be enormously expensive.
Yeah.
If I counted how much time I put into it, but thankfully I don't charge myself. So, but yeah, I picked up. I finally got delivered the ViewMasters for the campaign, so I have those. And I had one person order it individually, so I think I'm going to send that out tomorrow, and then the rest of them were part of the complete set. So I've got to figure the one problem I ran into that I didn't expect was the boxes that they come in are too small to fit in the ViewMaster sleeve.
Mm.
I'll show you real quick.
Wanted to show you, since you came in late, Mark, show you Carrie's let's see, Carrie's fan art.
Okay.
She did my character Lady Hopper
Oh,
on a
nice.
pizza round.
You have cornered the market on pizza round art.
Well,
But
I don't know.
they come in this box, and the
Ah,
the
Oh, yeah.
ViewMaster won't
Whoop.
fit. So they send it. It comes with the viewer, and they go ahead and stick the ViewMaster in the reel in there, and then it has like
Right.
a tiny sleeve. That's
And you manufactured some sleeves, but it won't fit in the box.
right. So I'm gonna have to find a new box to put them in, so that I can send. And then, of course, the original plan was just to do the reels, which I could have put into just a standard, comic book mailer with the Blu-ray and the comic, and that would have been fine. But I decided to throw in the viewers, so now I'm going to have to figure out how to send them. I guess I don't know. I should be able to find a box. It's annoying because it's not a problem to find a box that's small for these, but once you throw in a comic, then it has to be bigger.
substantial. And it's
Yeah.
also got to protect your merchandise.
Right.
Mark, I just noticed that Stalled Track just by itself, you did close that campaign. When was that closed?
Well, I wanted to close it at the end of May, but I think it was like very early in June, because I wanted to be able to. I'm getting close enough to for fulfillment that I wanted to know how many I needed to order. So
Okay, but now that's not the complete. Is your complete campaign also down?
yes, both of them.
Okay.
Now the Doomsday Machine one, Indiegogo closed it because if you go a certain number of months without getting any orders, they shut down your in demand.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Yeah.
Without
So I got a
telling
notice
you?
from them.
Without
Well,
telling
they sent me an email saying we have permanently closed your in demand store. So
Okay.
but then
So can you allowed to sell some through you, Mark?
I could, but I don't want to.
I was just saying, if I said, "Hey, man, what you got there, man? I never seen them before. That's cool beans, man. I like the
Well,
ViewMaster idea. It's a great idea.
Thank you. It's my favorite thing that I've done because
Always like ViewMasters.
since I did it's 3D animation, so I could print stereo reels, so you can look at the stuff in 3D. It's pretty awesome.
That's cool.
But I ran into a thing when I did the first Stall Trek. The idea was to make DVDs and sell them at conventions, so I made like 1,000 of them, and you have to have a sales tax ID thing. And the problem was that when I didn't sell any, I didn't file sales tax. And if you because I didn't make any money, and so I didn't see why I needed to. Well, apparently you have to do that even if it's zero. And I ended up getting like a $200 fine.
If you got a
because of that.
number, bro.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I
if
was
you got
like,
a number.
yeah. So I was like, I don't want to do that anymore. The tax stuff was too much. So yeah, that
this is what we're talking about, Star Trek, the complete collection, and your individual one. You also doing a comic book with this.
yeah.
Have you figured out what you're gonna do with the comic book? How you gonna do
Not
it?
yet, but as soon as I finish the DVDs and send them off, then I'm 100% working on the comic. But I think I think there's less than 30 of them that I need to print. So
Okay.
I don't know how much I want to put into it. I'm just going to see how it goes.
Okay.
But
Let's watch his trailer here for Elsie so he knows
Okay.
what we're talking about. Now,
nothing more fun than seeing animation in choppy ass theater.
Yes.
That's right.
it's more like Viewmaster.
Yes, it's like nothing moves.
All that time animating and making things moves, and I do like a slideshow.
I
Yes,
see a movement. I see a movement.
there's a little bit of movement there.
Yeah.
But so yeah,
There you go. I would love to have that book. That one you spotted off of Gold Key.
Oh yeah, this one is. I did the other one. I did a cover that looked like the old photo novels, and this one looks like an old Gold Key.
Yeah, the old Gold Key is what I remember.
Yeah, they were a lot of fun. So I don't know. My original plan was that I was going to hand draw it, and I was going to put in fake ads, like the old sea monkeys and that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
But I just don't know if I'm going to have the time. Like I said, if I'd sold more than 30 of them, I'd have more motivation. But right now, it seems
It's
like
like
a lot of
it's
work.
like this, Mark. You see, there's people like me. I've already got one of those things I could view it with. Shoot,
Oh.
man. So you could throw one of them, man. You could sign that bad boy, throw it in envelopes. I'll pay you whatever you want for it.
Well, I appreciate it, but yeah, I
That's
got
cool. That's
I got it to
cool,
where
man.
30 of them, so the price came down a little bit. But
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
on Goblin Girl, he was doing Viewmasters too, Dan Plegel, and I think he had to order several hundred, just minimum order. I don't know.
before it,
I don't know if
well,
they came with a sleeve or what. I know yours were made without a sleeve. That's why
so
you
they
went the
charge.
extra mile.
Yeah,
I
they
like the
charge.
sleeve.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, what's hilarious is I got it printed at FedEx. I have to cut it out and fold it and put it together
Still looks
myself.
Yeah.
cool, man.
Yeah.
I would
But
if it was mine. If it
There
was
you go,
mine, I
Mark.
would.
Show it off, Mark.
Show it again, man.
but I'll
Yeah, they're
make it. So I got these
self-sealing it.
poly bags that
Yeah,
are
Uh-huh.
the right size, which is awesome.
perfect,
So,
man.
So
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
So
What?
and
No
then,
booklet? No booklet with that?
Oh,
No
come
booklet,
on, man. No
Yeah,
booklet.
they used to come with little booklets.
Oh yeah.
Now, the way these are made, they're not the same. They print the whole thing on a plastic thing, so they're not individual things that are
Right.
stuck in like cardboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now you did yours in 3D, right?
Yeah, so I was going to say let me see if I can get my camera working again.
Put the puppet up there.
Well. But yeah, because they'll sell you can just send them 7 photos and they'll make one that's 2D. But if doing the stereo pairs, they apparently have to work on that. And so when I did this initially, I just ordered one and it cost me $88.
Wow.
But once they had done, because that was with the setup fee and stuff. Once once they have it, then they can do reprints, and though that goes down quite a lot. And so,
That's cool. That
You
averages out.
So you're gonna sell what little extra you have at like conventions?
no, I didn't. I did one extra one for me in case my other one gets messed up.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, if I thought I could sell enough of them that I could make a profit off of it, I would produce them. But I've seen, like I said, when I did that first one, I took those DVDs to conventions,
Uh-huh.
and I was lucky if I sold 30 of them at a convention. It was really hard, and it cost a fortune to get a table at the big
Yeah.
conventions.
Mhm.
And
Hard to
so
make your money back.
no, I never did. Every time I did it, I lost money.
So
And
what?
you know,
So
plus
what was your table fees? $400 or $500 or more?
gosh, I don't remember now, Rex. It was years ago. It was like
Okay.
in 2012 or 2013. I know the first couple I was able to get into Artist Alley, and it wasn't too bad. And then the convention got bought by a big I think they're from Europe, but it ended up going from being the Dallas Comic Con to the Dallas Fan Expo,
Mhm.
and they have a fan expo in Orlando and in Toronto. I think they're in several places, so it's a big outfit. They draw in a lot more people, but I want to say the last time I looked at one, it was going to be crazy money, and I was just like, I can't justify it.
Yeah.
And I found geek stuff at conventions now is fashion. Elsie would be able to buy plenty of those shirts there, I think. But nobody was looking to buy DVDs or anything like that. They would buy like little geek jewelry or something, or maybe some sketches. But they didn't care. They didn't want to carry the DVD around. And a lot of people said, "Hey, that's cool," but they didn't buy it. So.
Do you see the Funko Pops have any? Are they?
Oh yeah, they have enormous. But I don't even know how well those sell anymore. Because the last time I went to one, which was a few years ago, they had several people who had set up just walls of those Funko Pops.
Yeah.
And
the little Darbies and all like that.
Yeah,
Little vinyl.
But I know my nephews were getting some, and you could look like I guess Funko has an app or something, and you could see what they were worth. And generally, they were selling them for more than that. So, yeah, I don't know. The people who are coming to the conventions, at least out here, oh, nice.
I think a lot of people like the convention premiums. That's what I'm, they'll buy up the premiums limited, and then they'll flip them on eBay.
My daughter got me this for Christmas.
That's nice.
Rex helped me. I've got a collection of these. They're pops, but they are.
Yeah.
They're Pez Pops.
Yeah, they're Pez, Funko Pez Pops. Yeah.
And I
Or
think
Pop
they
Pez,
don't.
yeah.
They're hard
Pop
to get,
Pez.
aren't they, Rex? Do they even make them?
I've never seen one of those. Yeah.
I was buying them through. Oh, I'd have to go in there and get their name. Got some
It's one of Rex's secret.
It was like a gaming
Yeah.
store. It was a gaming store, GameStop or something.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah, GameStop, I guess it was. Yeah, GameStop stores. Yeah. Which they're kind of going out now, closing stores and stuff. I don't know. They used to be the thing. And we still got
I've got a
ours here in
huge
town.
box of these, man. Thank you, Rick.
I've got like
I
4
didn't
or
get 'em-
5.
I didn't
He
get
was
'em
giving me these
sale.
big chicken boxes, these big cardboard boxes, and I've got them full of those things. Because I was ordering those quite, they've got like Big Boy,
Captain
Green
Crunch.
Giant, Green Giant,
Ho, ho,
little
ho.
Sprout. I've got
Uh-huh.
one that's is it Greedo that
Yeah, I got
Han Solo shot and killed in the first movie in the bar. I've got the actor's signature on that one. I used to have the Funko Pop creator and current CEO signature on one, but I sold it.
Was the Greedo actress a woman?
No, it's a guy. Man.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they've done some animated things where they've had like set in the past where they brought the character back. You know, he might even do the
Okay.
voice for that. But yeah, he was very short lived in that first movie, but he still goes around the conventions and stuff. You know.
Well, he got to be an action figure in those original Kinners, so that makes
Oh yeah.
you
Oh
that
yeah.
makes you something big. Then.
I had one that and a Hammerhead and a few others. You know.
Oh,
I had
I
all-
love my. I was going to show you. You can get Funko lets you make your. You have to choose from a limited amount of parts, but you can make your own. Well, I was disappointed. The name is a label, which is kind of sad. But
Oh, they
Um,
just stuck it on there.
yeah, it's not printed on the box, but
Yeah.
it's still kind of fun to have.
It's pretty cool, man.
A
Oh yeah.
little pop of yourself. I've bought a few. I think I don't know. They're
What?
cool to a point, but
Yeah.
I
they're
probably got a
really just hunk of
dozen, but
plastic.
the ones that I've really liked the most are the Funko Pez, you know, because
Yeah,
that's something different. I know they're limited and they're nice presentation in a box. Generally, those things run you about five a piece, but sometimes you can catch them when they're phasing them out.
Skipper and Gilligan.
There you go. Yeah.
They actually came out with the whole Gilligan's Island thing, but I didn't go.
Oh
for it.
yeah. Professor Ann, Mary Ann. all the
That's
characters.
This is
huh?
recent. I got this Betty Page.
A little
it's a-
Hawaiian dancer, huh?
Yeah, it's got the spring and everything.
Uh-huh.
It won't. You can't suction cup it to your dash, but
Oh, bummer.
Well, you know, Marvel does licensing deals with their action figures. I think most of the Marvel, if not all of Marvel, have Funko Pops have to be bobbleheads. That they're bobbleheads,
oh, okay.
With the
Okay,
spring.
that makes-
and that's the reason why. Because that would be, you know, without the spring, without it being called a bobblehead, it would be
an action
considered
figure?
some kind of an action figure, even though it's just a static standing statue, whatever.
That's that's like McFarlane. He can't do Marvel action figures, but he can do statues. So he's
Mhm.
been doing those statues that look like comic book covers.
Yeah, he did a Kickstarter with Spawn, a pretty expensive, like $200 Spawn figure.
Yeah,
You know, a year or so ago.
I was at Target and saw one. He did a Jack Kirby Thor. I don't remember which issue it was, but it
I've
had
seen
like
it.
the Kirby lines on it or whatever. It looked really cool, but I think it was like $60, and I was like, I just don't know.
Yeah,
Mine was around 50, and I said no.
Yeah, maybe it was 50. Whatever it was a
But
little too much.
They had a
consider.
Hulk. They had a Hulk as well.
well, maybe it was around 2015 when Hastings was going out or something. You know, I discovered some. I've got a very early one, maybe 2007 Captain America, but you know, I saw a few Funko Pops, but I didn't realize that they were like what Funko was till it hit the big time. And
Yeah,
I think most stores have more of those than they want right now. But they were talking at that time on the radio that Funko Pop was in 2024 going to have to pay so many millions of dollars worth of debt. And were they going to be able to do that? And our Funko is the future of Funko assured. And I'm not sure about that. You know, I don't know whatever happened. Did they pay their debt? Are they in pretty good financial shape, or are they on their way out? I don't know.
I don't know. I still see. I get emails from Entertainment Earth, and they still show Funko Pops new ones. The thing that they lucked out on or did right was they got licenses for everything.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that costs so much money.
I'm sure it does, but
Yeah,
you
and
know,
they even do flocked. You know what flocking is?
that's where you put the powder, the fur powder on it.
Yeah, they do flock Pez.
Oh, okay, fuzzy
Mhm.
ones.
Fuzzy ones.
Fuzzy pet.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know I got suckered into buying one of the. It was a Batman that came in like a little metal tin that was meant to look like a vault.
Uh huh.
It wasn't super expensive. I think it was $30, but the problem with it is it's in a tin, so you don't really display it. Like, oh, now I have a metal box somewhere.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah,
They're fun, but they're
The thing that I'm wanting to produce, maybe on the next campaign, we'll see after the Buscema campaign, see how we do on that one. I'd love to do a Devil Flyer lunchbox.
oh, me too.
You know,
Yeah.
I love the
Um,
lunch boxes, or even the little mini lunch boxes. You know, those are kind of neat.
I don't like the mini lunch boxes.
I don't really either. I've got a few of them. I've got like a little underdog
Yeah.
lunch box, but I like the full
I-
size lunch boxes.
Yeah, I like the full size because I think I got like a Lone Ranger one that wasn't mini, but it wasn't full size. And I felt like I got ripped off because
A
I
lot
thought it
of
was
the
a full size.
thermoses back when we were growing up, and I know, you know, had that glass insert that would get broke.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bust 'em.
Yeah.
And
I showed you that Avengers one that I got recently, right?
I think you did. Yeah, I've got
Yeah.
a Hulk versus Hulkbuster one back here. I mean, every now and then Walmart would carry, you know, those things as like collectibles.
It's nice.
Schools
that's
aren't going to
small,
allow
yeah.
you to bring wood, you know, these metal lunch boxes to school anymore, Mark, because they, you know, back in the 80s, they said they could be used as a weapon against other kids.
Well, they were quite often used as weapons.
Yeah, and
Um,
apparently, and that ruined it for everybody. The last, a little bit of trivia here, the very last metal lunchbox that they produced was Rambo, of all things. Whoops. Wait, wrong button. Sorry. Yeah, that's awesome. You sent me the link to this one too. Look at this.
I like the front of it. Unfortunately, it's the same on both sides. The
Yeah.
sides suck. They really didn't try on the sides.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Now
But
that's
it does. It
that's a
does
G-
have.
the thermos.
It
Yeah.
does have a thermos.
Yeah. Not all of them come with the thermos.
Yeah.
That's a Jim Steranko Captain America from one of his.
But you know
covers.
what? I laughed because I thought about actually taking this to work and using it as an actual lunchbox. It doesn't have the little clip. Remember, there was like a little wire clip
Yeah.
that would come
To
down
hold
and
it in place?
to hold it in place. They don't have
Yeah. I guess Aladdin made those, didn't they? Wasn't it Aladdin that made the lunchbox?
I believe
one?
Aladdin
They made
was
some.
the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I found a story once about the guy who did the art for all of them, because it was like the same guy who did the paintings for all of those old lunchbox from once they started doing it until like the early 80s or whatever.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
he painted a ton of those
You could sell that
lunchboxes.
artwork right now for a fortune.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he got to keep the paintings. I don't know how that worked. And he's dead now, but he did because I just got curious one day because we've all seen those lunchboxes. You know, everything from Welcome
Yeah.
Back, Otter, any show or
Yeah.
anything that came out, there was always a
Lone
lunchbox.
Ranger.
Yeah. And so I just wondered, you know, who did the art for these, and it was just this guy who because I want to say that the company was in New York, maybe, or something.
Mhm.
I went down a whole rabbit hole one day trying to find stuff about it, but I may be mixing it up too because I also watched a documentary about the old the Halloween costumes.
Well, a
What
few
was-
years ago, they ran an article in our local paper here, and I saw it. This was probably, maybe about a decade ago, if not, you know, probably the reason I saw it is my mom and dad collected the paper at that time. But we've got a professor out here at the university, and he collects lunchboxes. He's got over 2,000. That's a bunch.
That is a lot.
Even if you spend
Elmer,
$1 a piece for them, that's $2,000. You know,
yeah,
and I doubt he
Elmer
spent that
Linhart.
much.
Elmer Linhart was the name of the
Okay.
painter. But I want to say, I think he was the guy who died like from a heart attack while he was sitting in a lawn chair in his front yard. He finally retired.
I see that
And
happening. You know, people retire and they're dead within 6 months. I don't know
yeah,
why.
yeah, they
You,
just
you stop working. Something.
yeah,
happens.
that
The biggest problem is they do not retire when they can.
Yeah.
They keep
guess so.
working because the
Yeah.
money, they think they're going to be better off. And then when they do retire, they've done put so much on their bodies. They're, you know,
yeah, so they don't get the money. Yeah, I've been looking at some YouTube videos. I'm still a little ways away, but um, some of these that are saying whether or not you should take Social Security like at 62 or wait till like 67.
62. Is it 67 now? I thought it was
Now.
65. Have
So
they upped it a couple years?
Well, it depends on what year you were born in.
Okay.
But,
Yeah.
but they upped it from 65 to 67. But the thing is, you look at it, if you're getting, you know,
can I tell you
5
from
years.
experience, Mark? Can
What's
I
that?
tell you from experience?
Yes.
I retired at 60 years old because I could at teaching, but I needed a part-time job. So I worked at Lowe's for a year or two till
I thought
I
it
got
was
my
3
Social
years.
Security. Well, till I got my Social Security.
Uh-huh.
And then as soon as I was able, at 62, I got my Social Security. Okay. And I've been having my teacher retirement, my Social Security for now I'm 68 years old.
Hmm.
Okay. So I look back at how much they paid me in Social Security and how much I paid in. I'm already doubled my investment.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's the thing that they
So
were talking about is, yeah, you get more if you wait till 67, but there's
you might
5
not
years
be
of getting
alive there, brother.
exactly. There's 5 years there where you're getting what you won't get,
Yeah.
wait
That's what
until
they hope you'll
67.
do. That's what they hope you'll do, Mark.
Right.
Say,
Is wait.
no, I'll wait.
Yeah.
wait.
I plan
So,
on taking that at 62, but now they do because I don't see much benefit at doing it at 65, and I'm sure it's probably 65 for me, first Gen Xer, but maybe it's 67. I think it's still 65, but I can do
let
it
me
at
see.
62. But you're only
Um,
allowed to earn so much money per year if you take it, right?
Yeah, I think it's like 22 grand a year.
It's
And
it's almost non-existent now, Mark. That you could just basically make whatever you make, and you'll get your Social Security.
oh, really?
Yeah.
But what you want to clarify that for you? I'm confused.
Well, I just know the
you can
tax
do what
lady.
you want. F the government. Is that what you're saying?
No, F the government. You paid in Social Security. That's your money. And it's not an entitlement. It's something you paid in. It's an insurance policy you paid in your life. Okay.
Right.
And so I'm getting that back. Now, I might, like you said, Rex, it may be gone, in a year. Then I won't have it, but I'll have my teacher retirement. And if I need to pick up the slack somewhere, I will, but probably won't have to, And so why would I worry about if the Social Security is going to run out or not? I'm not.
Yeah, right.
Well,
Rex, if you were born after 1960, it's 67.
Yeah.
Oh crap! Don't tell me that. So,
Okay,
are you still going to have the option?
You still can take you can take
62?
it at 62, but it's reduced.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
So they've upped it to 67 instead of 65, even for wow.
Yeah, if you were born after
That's
well, even
wrong.
if you were born 1955, it's 66 years. But
I was born in
60, it's 67.
I was born in 57.
Oh, okay, so
I'm already receiving it. Been receiving it for 5 years.
Yeah. Plus,
And
they do increases on it. So,
Yeah.
you know,
I think
I
I think you've already received as much in those 5 years and more than what you paid in, hadn't you?
Oh, I told Mark
yeah,
I
you just
probably
said
tripled
double.
my
Yeah,
investment
triple.
now at
Yeah.
5 years with all, like you said, with all the ups they do. Because even if you
Yeah.
start out, oh, you'll only get $700-800, but in 3 years you'll already get 1,200.
Well,
You know,
a few years
whatever.
ago, they had a discussion on the radio, talk radio, I guess, and they were saying that within, you know, I'll be 60 this year, so within a couple of years, so we're talking in the next 5-6 years, they were saying that 3 years after it worked out to 3 years after I turned 62 that it would be insolvent, that all the money would be gone. If they didn't do anything to Social Security. And I don't think anybody has yet. So we're on par in the next 4
Oh,
or 5
what
years
the
for it to go insolvent. And I know people go,
yeah.
oh, that's a non-starter. Don't even talk about it. They'll never do that.
Well,
They'll never let it happen. They might not, but if they do,
well, we're
you know,
not on the gold standard anymore. The
no, we're
the
not.
government just keeps spending money.
Yeah. You think they'll ever
So
audit the Fort Knox like Trump's talking about?
no, I don't think they'll audit it, and I
I
can't see
think
a
it needs to
benefit
be
of that.
audited, but then if it does, I think that could lead to a worldwide depression because we don't have the gold in there. I'm convinced of it. We don't
No,
have
because
as
we're
much
not
as
on
we
it.
should have.
We're not on a go. Nixon took
And
us
we'll
off
never
the
and
gold
and
standard.
and the world's moved ahead. We will never be put on the gold standard again.
No, they all
There's no
go by
way
us.
we can even go back to that.
Yeah,
It's
but
the world has changed since then.
yeah, but even in making up money, we still owe China an incredible amount of money.
Oh yeah,
So
I mean, we're at like 300 trillion.
yeah,
Of
there. And this was a few years ago, so I'm sure the number is way higher. But I know I looked at one of these websites that showed like if every one of us sent um, the government $1,000 a day or something to try to pay off the deficit, it would
yeah,
still take hundreds of years.
yeah.
It's just the numbers are just insane.
Well, I mean, I mentioned this yesterday. If we're getting to the point that we won't, if we get that tipping scale where we won't be able to even pay the interest on what we owe, then we're done for. If you can't even pay the interest, you can't even hope to pay anything on the. But now, within 6 years, they could balance the budget if they wanted to. If they did like a.
Well, they can
At
balance the
one time
budget.
they were talking about a penny tax. For every penny you spend, you save a penny or something like that. It was like a penny something. And now it's 6 cents, and it's going to be more later. No, until we want to slash the budget, I don't think we're ever going to slash the budget. But I mean, there's a tipping point,
Yeah.
when there's a point of no return. And I know during Trump's first presidency, I think he said it was $24 trillion. Well, we've exceeded that under Biden, and we're going even higher
Yeah,
with Trump.
I think
So
we're
what happened
doing
to
about
that scenario?
yeah, we're adding about $1 trillion a year, I think, at this point.
Yeah,
And I just did the calculation. If you made $1 trillion in a year, you would have to make $2.74 billion per day. It's these trillions of it's just insane how
it's
big that amount of
astronomical,
money
right?
is.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
this, Mark. If you had $1 million in cash, what would you do with it?
Well, I always thought
Where would
about
you
the
put
fact
it?
that if
No,
if
you had to keep it in cash. You couldn't put it in the gold. You couldn't put it in the stock market. You just had cash. Where are you going to keep it? What are you going to do
you can't
with
put
it?
it all. You can't put it all in one bank because they don't.
You could, but
well, the
90%
insurance
of
doesn't
it,
cover.
90% of it would be non-insured.
Yeah,
if
you'd
you
have
did.
to. Yeah, you'd have to put it in several banks. I've
Yeah,
always
10
said though
banks.
that I'd certainly love to win the lottery and win like $100 million or something. But I think 1 million would be a lot easier to deal with. And I always thought that's 50,000 for 20 years. So if you figured out a way to do it, that's that would be the smart thing to do. But
But
I
see,
think anyone who
Mark,
gets
you're
$1 million
looking at it
just
in the
goes and
long
buys it.
haul. You're looking at it the long haul, like you got 20 years. I'd get
Well, I
that
may not.
money.
Yeah.
I'd get that money and I'd put it up for 20 years and I'd die in a half a year.
Yeah.
That's stupid. Take that money, invest it, make something out of it, make it grow, make
But
it
you're
do
saying
something.
you can't invest it. You got to keep it in cash. That's what I
No,
didn't
but
understand. What you
well,
were
he
saying.
started talking about. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I was just asking where you would put it in your house if that's what you had.
Elsie wants to know where, if he comes to my house, where to find the $1 million that
Okay.
I hid.
I got the
Hey,
joke.
you ain't never
Uh,
gonna find it at my house, bro.
It used to be under people's beds, right?
or in the mattress. That was what
Yeah.
they
In
would
the
do. Set up
mattress.
in the
Yeah,
Until
the
the
mattress.
bed
mattress all
bugs tried
cut
to
up.
tear it off.
Yeah.
That'd be a big mattress.
Yeah, it would. It would be the Princess and the Pea, wouldn't it?
You'd have to make it a cave.
Yeah.
For a while, they had you could play the lottery, the Texas lottery with the app. So I would do it every once in a while just because it was easy. Yeah, I was glad to see in Texas is one of the states where you can do it. You can win anonymously. You don't have to. They don't print your name in the paper. But some of the states they do. That would be a case where I would have to move immediately because you don't want to be robbed instantly.
Well, if you want 100,000 taxes on that, it's probably going to be about half. So you're going to wind up with 50,000. Whatever.
I'm still okay with the $500,000.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, like Prince died, and he was worth 300 million, roughly, right? 300 million. So he died with no will. So automatically, the government gets half of that, 150 million.
Okay.
Because he didn't have a will, which was crazy.
That's weird that he didn't.
Elvis did that while he was alive. He just told the government, "Y'all do them. I can't do them. I make too much money. Y'all do the taxes." What he told him.
Yeah, Colonel Parker telling him.
And compared to some of these rappers, he probably didn't make crap compared to some of those rappers, because those rappers have made
clearly,
ungodly amounts of money on the rap music. You know,
well,
they've got in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah,
they've got
Elvis
they've got
dead.
a club.
He's still making money.
That's
Elvis
right.
is dead, and he's still rolling in the dough.
But you could compare Elvis to those rappers though, because he did buy tons of jewelry and gaudy stuff, and
I mean, for the time and set. But I mean, let's face it, the new entertainment deals are, a lot more. I mean, actors and actresses for a movie, back in the golden age of movies, may have got paid well,
so
compared
I'm
to
not
the standard of living, but by today's standards, it was nothing.
I'm not up on current stuff, and I don't know who young people are, but I just saw that story that there's some guy, Mr. Beast or something, who I think is a YouTuber or TikToker or something, just spent $500,000 to rent Disneyland for one night to take a girl on a date.
Wow. Yeah. Well, that they've got a discotheque, if that's what you can call it, a club there in Atlanta, and they've got like an overhang or whatever above, and some of the rappers, they throw out money to the, and
the people dancing her.
Yeah, there was one, he holds the record, unless he threw out $250,000 one night to the crowd. Now, he's bringing down the money by the hundreds of thousands of dollars, with those records. Hundreds of millions. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're throwing out $250,000 like it's just nothing.
But that's the thing. These kids are becoming billionaires with YouTube and TikTok and stuff, because they get millions of followers.
Yeah.
And
well, I listened to Dave Ramsey on the show, and he has $1 million. He encourages, people to call in. He has a millionaire's hour or whatever every now and then, and they'll call in and they'll say, and he'll ask them, what was your did you go to college? I mean, he tracks that stuff. You know, what was your GEP and what was your GED rather, and then what, you know, and you know what, where's your money and assets or what. There's a lot of millionaires that out there that you wouldn't think that they're millionaires, you know, but they own their houses, they own their vehicles, and
Yeah.
they've got a good little nest egg, and they run businesses and stuff. You know, there's,
Yeah,
you know,
I think the trick is too is if you're from money, you know how to make money and keep it and stuff. Okay, so Carrie's saying that Mr. Beast's a YouTube influencer. He gifted families in needs with a home and a car, done charity work. So, but that just goes to show he's making enough money to be able to do that just by being on YouTube. I don't know what he does on YouTube, but that's insane how much money. I know that every once in a while, I look and I see that I've earned like $8 on YouTube.
oh yeah.
But I haven't been able to rent Disneyland yet.
Now how's that? Are you monetized?
I am monetized because in July of, I think it was it was either 2022 or 2023, suddenly YouTube discovered my stall trick videos. Nobody had been looking at them. You know, I'd had them for forever. And then suddenly it started doing it. And like within a month or something like that, I went from having, I guess it was around 800 subscribers to having 5,000 subscribers. I'm still just shy of 10,000. No, I'm just shy of 5,000. Is that right? Yeah,
I guess that's revenue from them running ads on your videos.
So yeah, they run ads, and so like for the brief period of time, well, when I got the most views, I wasn't monetized, but I became monetized because I got so many views, and just from the little residual of that, I want to say I made about $600 that year. Wow! But that was it. You know, now it's just barely nothing. But
yeah,
I can't make these things fast enough to be able to to keep that going. And you know, they discover it, they watch your 3 videos, and then you're done. So, but these people who have, you know, millions of followers are clearly taking in just amazing amounts of cash.
So would everybody in here, if you had 2 million, everybody in here send me 50 cents real quick? I got this project I want to do. And if half of them send it to you, you got $500,000.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is clearly they, well, for one thing, I'm sure this Mr. Beast is probably, you know, 20 something. So he's still, it says here he's 27. So he's still young enough that if he says, hey, I like this type of shoe or something like that, people will go and buy the shoe that he likes. They show the demographics of your viewers. All of my viewers are male and over 50. So I'm not getting that. I'm not getting that 18 to 24 market that they're really looking for. But you know, I'm doing old Star Trek shows, and so it's only old people who like the original Star Trek who are watching it. And then you even narrow that because it's the ones who have a sense of humor about it. Because I can tell you, there's a lot of Star Trek fans who do not have a sense of humor. They don't find making fun of it funny at all. They get real uppity about it.
Well, bro, I'm running out of power. I mean, on my device here.
Okay. And I'm sure Mark's going to want to, you know, get something to eat. And I go to work in about an hour. So we'll say the magic words and get out of here. Thanks, Mark, for joining us. Elsie, Shadowhawk.
Thanks for having me.
Mark, take care.
Absolutely.